Hey everyone, welcome back to Bravely Default. Last time, we entered the Holy Pillar for the last time. Eri revealed herself as the Evil One. She'd been tricking us this whole time, linking thousands upon thousands of Luxendarts. Also her master, Ouroboros, could invade our realm and eventually invade the Celestial realm. Basically, she aims to destroy the world. She's evil. The Dark Aurora has appeared above the Great Chasm, which has still not closed. We went to see Sage Yulyana and Lord De Rosa, who appeared shortly after, and spoke with the Angel. We now know that, well, we basically need to go deal with Eri and Ouroboros, and we're going to get some help from De Rosa along the way somehow. But the Sage Yulyana helped us as well. He's opened up the way to the Crystal Archipelago, or opened up the final seal on the Crystal Archipelago, allowing us to enter a secret sort of dungeon in the game. This is by no means necessary, you don't have to do this, but it has some pretty sweet armor, so I would heavily suggest you do. Also, if you didn't get your genomes in Chapter 4, or you missed any in Chapter 4, this is where you get them. This has enemies from basically only Chapter 4. Well, not only Chapter 4, but largely Chapter 4. Wait, what? Oh, I'm talking to you. Well, hold on, I'll get to you in a moment. I need to save real quick. Alright. I might want to change Anis's job over, because I don't really... I mean, she might as well master something else, right? Just go for Summoner. She can stick on White Mage for emergency healing, that's fine. Everyone's just medication, because we're gonna... Well, they should be medication. Why aren't you medication? Okay, yeah. Everything... I don't know what... Whatever. What do you have to say? This place is a labyrinth, wrought from illusion by an archbishop of the Crystal Orthodoxy, Jesus, in a past age. His magic strengthens the beasts who stalk in its halls. Spells of teleportation are also nullified within. If you would press on, take care. Yeah, so if we go ahead into our menu, I think right now, yeah, cannot use teleport stones. If you're going through this dungeon, you just have to go through it or turn off your encounter rate. So really, it doesn't matter much. But you still have to go back through it, so that's a walk. And each floor of this dungeon is based off the floors of a previous dungeon. And each one has their own enemies. Here on the second basement level, we can find the Goblin Archer, the Goblin Slasher, the Merchantry Blade, the Merchantry Mage, the Merchantry Thug, the Greater Kate, the Sandworm, the Scorpion, and the Earth Lantern. And the genomes you can learn on this floor are none. There's actually no genomes you can learn on this floor if you missed any. Oh my god, you're going first. That sucks. Yeah, so the enemies are scaled up a bit, so they are harder to deal with. I'm gonna... Oh, I should have bought more attack items. You know what? No, it should be fine. We'll use perma crystals. I'm gonna have everyone use different ones so I don't run out quite as fast. Though I might actually have to go back and restock on them. But we'll see. You have 2 medications equipped. Tell you what. No, you don't. We're going to change that. We're going to change that over to singing, because might as well. I'm not going to use that, but I just don't want to have 2 medications equipped in case I do want to use anything else. And you go for Fallen Shards. And hopefully we don't run out of these at least too quickly. But I might have to go back and get more. In fact, I definitely will, because I don't want to run out. It's pretty much the only way I'm going to get through this dungeon, to be honest with you. Okay, we're all restocked, and also I forgot that I also want to equip Dungeon Master, so I don't have to do it with any style stones. Yeah, I know it's kind of cheap, but at the same time, I don't want to deal with it. Mega Elixir, so you get some really sweet treasure here in Dimensions Hasp. That should go without saying, given it was all stolen from the Orthodoxy. But yeah. We should just be able to auto and do this all. So as I said, there's no new genomes to learn here on the second floor of Dimensions Hasp, because none of the enemies you fight here even had genomes originally. So you have nothing to worry about here. Just get through the floor and you'll be fine. And again, each of these floors are styled after a dungeon we already went through. Obviously, this is styled after the Herita Ruins. Fun fact about these areas as well, if you play the Bravely Default demo, which I will be talking about in a separate video later on, these areas are basically ripped straight from that. They're the same exact designs. They are... Well, the treasures are different, but they're the same exact designs. So, these areas are actually used already. You got the Garasu. Let's see. What does that do exactly? I don't know. Apparently, I don't have notes for that. There's like 5 pages of notes for Dimensions Hasp, but that's not surprising. I fucked that up. I think, did we already get a Yacht to Garasu? We might have. Let's see. No, we didn't. Raise evasion. Looks really sweet, though. Like a golden dagger. That's pretty cool. Might as well equip that. So, yeah. Most of the weapons we're missing, or weapons, armor, and stuff we're missing that we haven't, gotten yet. That's what missing means. Well, not technically, I suppose. It does in this case. Anyway, a lot of them are either found in Dimensions Hasp, or we're buying them for the adventure. I'm hoping at the end of this dungeon, we'll have enough money to buy everything we want from the adventure, because I have more money equipped on Anya, so we get more money. I think it's like 1.5 times more, so decent, I guess, but not a ton, but it'll do something. Hopefully we have enough money, basically, to get that. So, floor 3 of Dimensions Hasp, we can find the Deathfish, the Death Pirate, the Remora, the Sea Serpent, the Chomper, the Monoceros, the Monodon, the Mad Shark, and the Zombie Shark. In terms of genomes you can get if you missed it, it's Spray from the Deathfish. Though I believe you can still get that in Chapter 5 beyond, but hey, whatever. Actually, I'm not positive you can. Either way, you can get Spray here if you want to from the Deathfish. We did miss one genome, as I mentioned at some point. I mentioned at some point that I missed a genome. End of Chapter 5. I think we probably did it. That is going to be found on B5. So thankfully, we didn't miss it forever. It is not possible to miss any genome forever. You can get them all either in Chapter 4 or here. I want to reiterate that I think it's really, really bad design to have Vampire God at the very end of Chapter 4 and have most of the genomes, like half of the genomes, completely locked out until the very end of the game. Like, you literally can't get here until the very end of the game. That's really bad design to give you a job and then lock you out of like half of its abilities. Unless you go and hunt them down. Story-wise, it obviously would make sense to get Vampire earlier on. But maybe then Vampire should have done a different thing and like, this job should have been something else. I don't know. It's really bad design to have it styled like this, honestly. This dungeon, the Wind Temple, temples in general, is also taken from the demo of Bravely Default. I should specify the Western demo, the current Western demo, because the Japanese demo currently is something completely different. Again, I talk about all that I'm going to talk about all that in a bonus video. So if you want to know, I guess I have to wait a little bit longer for that to come out. But hey, at least it'll be out. You'll be able to hear me ramble about other stuff relating to Bravely Default. Plenty of other stuff. There's a lot of extra shit when it comes to Bravely Default. One of them actually involves this dungeon. So we'll be talking about that briefly here as well, but not too much in detail. Mostly because I'm not prepared and I don't feel like doing it right now. Earthbreaker. That is a good axe ability that deals earth damage. That would make sense, wouldn't it? So here on B4 of Dimensions Hasp, we can find the Wolf, the Silver Wolf, the Grizzly, the Bloodbat, the Hybrid, the Great Bat, the Myconid, the Fungus, and the Male Dragon, and the Slime. So this is also a good way to fill out D's journal if you missed any enemies, because a lot of those enemies are also completely locked out, and if you want to fill in D's journal, you won't really be able to until this dungeon. That's not as big of a deal, because like filling out D's journal doesn't do anything but give you satisfaction. And also lets you read some of the enemy descriptions, which is really cool, but it doesn't really get you anything substantial or, like, worthwhile. But a lot of the skills you get from Vampire, or for Vampire, for genomes, are really sweet. And it sucks to miss out on all of them. Like, half of them, rather. So here on B5, we can find the Panther, the Helldiver, the Valtora, the Killer Scorpion, the Soil Eater, the Poison Moth, the Treant, and the Dryad. And there's actually a lot of genomes to get here if you missed them. From the Valtora, you can get Chomp, From the Soil Eater, you can get Earthquake. That's the one we missed and the one we will be getting whenever we run into a Soil Eater. From the Sandworm, you can find Sandstorm. From the Treant, you can get Lullaby. So 4 genomes on this floor, if you missed it. That's pretty significant. Also, we mastered them with jobs. Sweet. Not sure how much that's going to come in handy, to be honest with you. Our party setups are kind of defined by this point, but just go Time Mage. You, Tiz, go... Swordmaster, sure, whatever. I mean, we're using medication anyway, so honestly it doesn't really matter as long as we keep medication on us. Because your job doesn't affect how much damage you do with that. Demon's Rod. See, I want to check out some of this new equipment. I guess I should get the weapon just in case. New Earthbreaker. Earth and be great, except that's what I thought. Looks really cool. Doesn't look like an Earth Axe, but still really cool. Demon Rod enhances Dark Attack. That's pretty cool. Demon Staff. Raises mine by 8. Dark damage, 27 damage. Cool. It's alright, I guess. Might as well equip that on us, I guess. Is that better? Demon Staff. Yes, it is. Cool. I'll go with that then. Also, you should probably heal. Because Anis is relatively low on health. I don't even know how that happened. But whatever. I guess something got a first strike and managed to do a bit of damage to us. Anyway, still haven't went to the Soil Eater. We surely will. Rather, I'm going to make sure we do, because, well, I still have to get Earthquake. But that's the reason I do as a vampire as well, by the way, because I need someone with Genome Absorb to get that. There are blue chests, by the way, in Dimensions Hasp. I should have mentioned this a while ago, but whatever. Another berry suit. We now have 4. That's awesome. We also could have stolen one from Kiko back in chapter 5. No, 5? Probably, but also chapter 8. But, nothing else that was new. Nothing in chapter 8 was new that you could steal, so it wasn't really that worth it to me. Anyway, there are blue chests, so you will need to make sure you get the key from Grandship, but I don't know why you wouldn't have by this point. But if you didn't, that's how you get it. And we're nearing the end of B5, so I might have to just run around for a bit until we find the Soil Eater. Oh my god. I have been searching for like 5 whole minutes, running around. Why did that take so long? Whatever, fine. I need to heal a bit. And I need to not kill it. Thank you. Oh my god, it's over. Every genome, besides the 4 from the Nemesis, which I don't want to get. Holy shit. That took way too long. I don't even know why that took so long. Well, whatever. It's done. We've gotten every genome. It's all good now. We're almost out of Fairy Wings. That sucks. But we'll just have Ringabout move on to some other thing then. You don't even need to attack. Jesus Christ. Seriously, that took like 5 minutes of just raising the concentrate to 100% and running around in the same area. That was awful, and I don't even know why. Whatever, it's done. At least we got plenty of peak from that. We have like over 240,000, I believe, which is really sweet. Yeah, so that's good. Lower on concentrate again, and let's keep heading onward after we healed, because we took quite a bit of damage in that fight. But yeah, every genome, woo! But again, besides the 4 from the Nemesis, I don't want to get because they're overpowered, which are Fire Aja, basically Aja versions of all the elemental spells. Anyway, Yoichi's bow, we already got that. On B6 here, we can find the Carbuncle, the Catamount, the Ratatosker, the White Kate, the Great Moth, the Cat Sith, the Vulture, the Oleron, the Succubus, and that's it. In terms of genomes, you can get Wing Scales from the Great Moth and Dual Attack from the Catamount, as well as Paralyzing Pollen from the Alrune. I believe on B5 as well you can get Toxic Whirl from the Poison Moth. We forgot to mention that one. You don't need to do anything, you should just use Desert Roses, I guess. I don't know if that'll hit the Vulture, but whatever, might as well try it. And you go for... Let's see. I guess you can go for Dark Matters. Sure, whatever. More expensive, but that probably doesn't really matter at that point. Like, how much money are we going to get from this fight alone, I wonder? 7,200? That's actually not that great, but whatever. Agnes has mastered another mage job, Jesus. What else does she have left? I think, like, Red Mage? Yeah. Red Mage, Spell Fencer technically, maybe Vampire technically, but that's it. Really only red mage. Sweet. Okay, cool. We're getting ridiculously powerful, and our options are growing ever further. Air knife, cool. I think that's just a knife that deals wind damage. You already got it, so not too great. Artemis's bow. I think you're good with bow. Let's see how that is. 212. 50%. Yeah, it's just a good bow. Yeah, that's it. No special thing, just really good bow. Looks really sweet too. All these weapons look. A lot of the weapons in Big Default look really, really sick, and I love them. You're all useless. Well, no, some of you have genomes, I think. It's a bit organized. Well, some of you are guarded against that. That was my concern with using Earth mallets, but I don't have anything else to use, so whatever. It's not that big of a deal, honestly. This is the longest dungeon in the game, by the way. Has 10 floors, technically really 9, because the first one's just like that place where the adventurer and his fox are. So, I mean, it technically is a floor, but it's really nothing, so... really, there's 9 floors of actual danger that we're going through. B7 here, we can find the Orc Leader, the Daedalus, the Tufel, the Imp, the Dagon, the Arrow Lantern, the Electro Lantern, the Golem, and the Guardian. In terms of genomes, you can get the Fireball from the Dagon, and White Wind from the Arrow Lantern. White Wind and Fireball are especially good ones, so I would suggest getting those. Another percent of Genji armor, that's pretty good. Nothing spectacular, but still good regardless. I gotta tell you, after so long, it's kind of weird going through a dungeon again. We actually haven't done this in so long, especially in my playtime. Like, obviously, I've gone through dungeons personally on my own time to get to bosses that I show, but on video, it has been forever since we've gone through any. And Adia's now mastered Vampire, which is good because we don't need her on that anymore. So go Conjuration, just so you can get your last level in that. And doesn't matter what you equip. We should heal, though. And that Guardian, by the way, takes forever to take out. Like, even focusing on it with Fallman Shards. Abano Murakumo. Cool. How was that? Against the Dragonkind. That's actually pretty helpful. We'll be wanting that. That's pretty sweet. Alright, cool. So to the right here, obviously this is based on Stark Fort. This floor. So just like there were other paths to the left and right in Stark Fort, there is treasure to the... Oh no, that's progress. What's in the middle then? Middle is what's important. I assumed that was progress, but... Oh well. I suppose I was a fool for assuming such a thing. Chest here. Genji Helm. Cool. I mean, it's good armor. Just not exciting, I suppose, because it's not new or anything. Adia died. I kind of just let her, because I didn't feel like raising her again in the middle of the fight, to be honest with you. So, we'll just do that now. They also get Silence, Ring a Bell, and Tiz, but that doesn't really matter, so... Alright, B9, based on the Underflow. We can find the Sky Archer, the Sky Dueler, the Sky Pikeman, the Legion Archer, the Legion Impaler, the Legion Mage, the Black Axe Fighter, the Black Blade, the Black Pikeman, the Duchy Guardsman, the Duchy Mage Guard, the Duchy Pike Guard, and the Guzzler. Holy shit, that's a lot of enemies. I don't believe I ever mentioned the genomes you can get on B8. That would be Curse from the Magician and Venom from the Red Flan, as well as Gastric Juices from the Gastric Worm. And that is it. Past B8, there is no new... Oh, this is B8. Oh. Well, now we know the ones for B9. Whatever, I'll reiterate when we get there. B8 is actually the Minotaur, the Magician, the Gastric Worm, the Demon, the Fire Dagon, the Flare Lantern, Water, the Red Flan, the Gargoyle, the Dark Stomper, the Inferno Golem, sorry, and the Arc Demon. And then, of course, genomes you can get are actually Fireball and White Wind. Or no. Fireball, White Wind, Curse, Venom. So they're along B7, B8. I fucked this list up, apparently. Jesus. Okay, so White Wind is definitely B7. And then Curse is B8. Yeah, whatever. Tie it with the enemy. I don't even know what that meant. Anyway, after this floor, there is no more no more genomes to learn from these enemies. You've gotten them all at this point if you go through here and got all the ones in chapter 5 and beyond as well. Which you should have, because you can't miss them. You can always go back and get them. Which is nice. Technically, you can also always go back and get these as well, but obviously you need to do it a bit later because they designed the game relatively poorly. We are running low on attack items. We might actually have to start using Dragon Fangs. I hope not, but we might have to. We are only one floor away from being done, though, so hopefully we can make it. I do kind of hate to breeze through the dungeons like this, but at the same time, like, I don't know. I don't really mind. I don't really personally mind, to be honest. It's probably boring as hell, but gonna be honest, I don't care all that much. Like, that probably sounded really bad, but I guess if I'm cutting battles out anyway, does it really matter? Because you're not seeing the battles, so it doesn't really matter how I'm handling them. Not really. And we've already seen all these enemies as well. Like, they're just stronger now. And it's kind of a similar thing as to why I didn't show Chapter 5 and 6. Or I suppose, rather, why I didn't show them in detail. Because, yes, the bosses are stronger, and so technically they would be different. Kaiser Knuckles. Those are good, I believe. 221, Conquering Emperor. Yeah, they look cool, too. All this shit looks cool. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, those bosses in these enemies are technically stronger, but they fight the same way. We've already talked about all their abilities and strategies. It's just scaled up to, make it more of a challenge for you now. Whether it actually is a challenge or not is besides the point. It's at least supposed to be. They are technically new because they have higher stats, but not really. Really, the only thing worth talking about when it comes to this is that you can get the genomes you missed, and you can fill out D's journal if you didn't get them filled in before, like I did. That we still missed Earthquake. At least we can get it back. Or still get it, rather. So, we missed something at the very start. That blows, because we can go all the way back and waste our attack items. Oh, boy. If I run out of attack items, I usually tend to fall back on vampire abilities. They're very strong, have a lot of multi-hit things. Luminous Robe, that increases light damage. So yeah, Vampire is a pretty good alternative when you can no longer cheese through things with Vampire, or with Salve Maker, rather. Alright, and so near the beginning of B8 we can find Gold Hairpin. Cool, that's actually pretty good. I don't remember exactly what that does. Oh, that's actually pretty sweet. Too bad that doesn't help us get attack items back. And so we are officially out of glitter bugs, and we still have 2 floors to go. Hopefully they just aren't that long. We do need to do a bit of healing. We can always again fall back on Vampire, but I'd rather not have to do that because Salve Maker is still more effective. But we may end up having to. This does not look like a small floor, so this will be fun. We do have Collect on the Salve Maker to get an item based on the location. So back in B8 it was Phlogistones that we got, which is helpful. But it was also relatively unreliable. Also, how much pig do we have? 479,000. That's pretty sweet. God, I wish Adia's room was here and the adventurer was in this so I could buy things from him. Oh boy. Turns out this cheap strategy based on consumable items isn't working. I wonder if Nintendo will take this to heart and make not another shitty Paper Mario game. Probably not, but I can hope so. I don't really believe it'll happen, but I can hope so. Gungnir. I believe that is maybe a dark spear? No. It's just a good spear. Cool. Looks silly, but still a good spear. So ideally I'd actually have like 800,000 plus peak by the end of this dungeon. That might happen. I don't know. I might have to grind a little bit to show everything off. But hey, that's no big deal. I can just grind for money alone, so whatever. No problem. Brave of the Fall gives you plenty of options to play the game exactly how you want after all. Aegis Shield. That's a pretty sweet shield. And not only is it named after Aegis. Nullifies Dread. That is extremely helpful. Also, I want to look at my items. 53, we're doing not good. We have decent on Phlogiston and Permacrystals at least. That might be enough to get us through. We don't have a ton left. And by that I mean we don't have a ton of dungeon left, thankfully. We're nearly through the end of B9. We just have to go up here, and I believe there's a chest. Oh, I never mentioned the enemies you could find here. Well, I did before, but it was on the wrong floor. So on B9, you can find a lot of them. Another brave suit, cool. You can find a Sky Archer, Sky Dueler, Sky Pikeman, Legion Archer, Legion Imperator, Legion Mage, Black Axe Fighter, Black Blade, Black Pikeman, Duchy Guardsman, Duchy Mage Guard, Duchy Pike Guard, and the Guzzler. And now, last floor. Okay. Here we can find the Hellhound, the Minotaur Zombie, the Zombie Wolf, the Ghost, the Dragon Zombie. That's insane. The Bone Lancer, the Bone Knight, the Bone Hunter. That Dragon Zombie is ridiculous. Holy shit. Oh, you actually find Guzzlers here and on B9, apparently. We are really, really low on attack items. Holy shit. This is not good. Especially when we run into you. I can hope that you don't have that much health. And throw high potions at you. That's pretty much all I got. And you can throw Kiragas at it. If I had a vampire, I could throw White Winds at it, but we don't have vampires, so that's not going to happen. Probably should have healed as well. I guess we could go back and do that still, but... Look at our fucking list. We have plenty of physicians and water crystals at least, but, like, that's not going to help us that much, especially the water, because, like, I believe... Oh, no, the physicians, because I believe Hellhounds are resistant to that. So, that would suck. Use your special? I don't know. I really hope you don't have all that much health, because otherwise this is going to be a big problem. You're basically a boss. Just like the Guardian basically was. Why are my specials? What? Are they dark? Are you resistant? Oh. Oh, you still have this, though! Oh my god. That's insane. Okay. Wow. Not that strong, but Jesus, you are a threat. Honestly, let's just see what we can do with this. Can I just, like, completely wipe you with a bunch of Kiragas? Because he went down pretty quickly. I didn't expect him to face him dead still. That's insane. Okay. Will this just kill you? Okay, and you only rise him dead once. That's good. Don't have to deal with it too much. Alright, and everyone but Ringbell is now level 99. I don't know how Ringbell kind of fell behind, but that's fine. Jesus, that you can find that enemy is ridiculous, to be honest with you. We need to give Anya some BP as well. Or MP, rather. I always get them mixed up somehow. Don't really know how. My brain's just really weird. It's also 2 AM, so that's probably not helping. So a good thing about all the enemies on this floor basically being undead except for the Hellhound is that you can just spam Kiraga at them to deal with most of them. So we can save on attack items that way. Alright, and Ringbell got to level 99. We have a max party. Fitting that it ended, or happened in the final chapter, I suppose. That's cool. It usually happens a little bit earlier in chapter 8. Well, that was a fight. Nothing! No one gets anything! That was a complete waste of my time. Great. Anyway, this is it. Last chest. Holds. Durandal. Check that out. The Blade of Legendary Paladin Roland looks really fucking sick. No special effects, but is super strong. Really, really good sword. But that's not it. We're not doing this, but most dungeons usually end in a boss. Not this one! As I was saying, most dungeons usually end in a boss. Dimensions Hasp is technically no different. It's not required, but if you walk through this wall past the chest, you can find the adventurer. Oh my god! Trying to be all dramatic. You know, trying that again. You can find the adventurer and his fox friend. I had doubted any human eyes would see this place save mine. What do you say? Fancy match as long as you're here. Not now. Ah, that's a shame. Another time then. No rush at all. So, this is a super hard fight. Probably the hardest fight in the game. we're not doing it right now. We're not prepared, but I will again be doing this in a separate video, a bonus video later on. This guy's really, really hard though. You need a lot of prep, and I'll be going over that in the other video. Basically, he hits all of your party consistently, and the fox has a relatively low amount of HP, but I don't remember exactly. I think he heals the adventurer, but also will always come back after he dies. They need to die in the same turn, otherwise you don't win the fight. And the fox will heal the adventurer a lot. It's a pain. Again, I'll be going over in more detail in a separate video, but you really need to be prepared. This dungeon is only for those who are really prepared. But, that's it. Kind of your call again? No, not right now. So, before we head into the Dark Aurora and face off against Aerie next time, I'm going to make sure there's not any bit of cleanup to do in terms of enemies or items or whatever we need to find and get. That doesn't include anything that might be in the Dark Aurora, of course. I'm just going to make sure that we're all good, and I'll see you topside. Alright, so we still have some things to buy from the adventurer. These would be the Knight Emperor, the Grinder Axe, Foxtail, basically like everything, honestly. We haven't really bought anything from this dude. Yes, I grinded up to 1,700,000 pig. Don't worry about it. It's not a problem. It didn't take long at all. Only like, an hour or two. Do we have to buy the magic knife? Probably. Angel's bow, we have to buy Mutsu no Kami. We have to buy the Bastard Claws. We have to buy Blessed Shield and Bloody Shield. We have to buy the Hike Helm. Do we have to buy the Lambic Camp? Yes, we do. Maybe. I don't remember. I'm going to hold off on that. We have to buy Bronze Armor, Hike Armor, Brigantine. A lot of this stuff is really good, by the way. It's just like, it's been so expensive, and we haven't desperately needed it, so I've kind of held off. And that thing on the side is probably freaking the fuck out. I'll go over some of this stuff, because some of it is really cool. Gold Egg, Growth Egg. And we probably do have to buy that Lambic Cap. Okay. Mainly the cool stuff, like a lot of this armor is just, really good armor. Rainbow Dress is pretty cool. Nullify's Confused, Brigantine, just good. All the hike stuff is just like fantastic armor. You can see on Tiz there, up from 215 to 224. That's pretty good. And Vangabal 226 to 244, so that's really solid. Some of these accessories are really solid. So Venture Badge raises the Brave attack rate. So basically, how often you go first at the start of battle. Smiley Badge freezes aggro level, so if you don't want someone to be attacked often or want them to be attacked a lot, you can give this to them so they have a lot of aggro or have less aggro at start of battle. Gale Hairpin. Wait, what is? Oh no! This is to give more BP at the start of battle, right? And then this is to attack sooner at the start, attack first start of battle. Normalizer lowers their chance to get BP at extra battle or at start of battle. This raises aggro. This lowers their chance to get a first strike. This is interesting because it's probably more helpful in in versions of the game earlier in Japan that didn't have the ability to change the counter rate. Now it's kind of useless because you can just do this from a menu, and it doesn't. I don't think it stacks with that menu change, and even if it does, it doesn't really matter because you get such a raise anyway. So, I mean, it's there, I guess. Golden Egg doubles your Pig received, but you will not get any EXP or JP. And Growth Egg is opposite, doubles EXP and JP, but no Pig. So basically, if you're only getting money, you want this. If you're grinding for job points, you want this. That's all. Really helpful, really cool. And that should be everything besides what we can't get yet. So any enemy area that's not complete is because there's things we haven't seen yet. Head armor or accessories, that's just things we haven't gotten yet. We technically could have completed accessories. The one accessory we're missing is something we could have stolen from Victor in Chapter 7, but we will be getting it anyway later. It's just we could have gotten it sooner if I had been more diligent, but no big deal. And the only other headpiece thing we're getting is in something we're doing later. Combat bonuses, we've seen them all, and this is the amount of times I've done it. And abilities. I went ahead and did all the compounding ones. I'll leave a list in the description of all the compounding things, so you can also do this. But, yeah, a lot of this is just, some of them are pretty, pretty cool. Like, let's look at Shadow Flare. That seems like a pretty cool one. 5,000 HP of dark damage. That's pretty sweet. Demon Tail and Dragon Fang. That's pretty effective. Dark Breath as well. That's pretty cool. But a lot of them are just like raise your magic attack. Magic defense. And I mean, well, I'm sure they're helpful and all. I don't think they're worth showing on camera because it's just like going through a menu and doing it forever. Especially when it's like potion, just combine 2 potions. Ether, combine 2 ethers. Or some of the other ones are pretty, a little bit more in depth. Like there's Reincarnate, which is if an ether and Phoenix down, it gets HP, MP, and raise from KO. Or there's like Dry Ethers somewhere, yeah, which is like 500 MP for. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. A lot of it's not that great or interesting to talk about, but it's there, so I completed it. And of course, now we also have all the genomes, thanks to the fact we got Earthquake. Of course, we have all the jobs. And, yeah. That's everything we can have gotten so far. Next time, guys, we head into the Dark Aurora. We face off against Aerie once more. And likely go face to face with Ouroboros. See you guys then. But hey, if you enjoyed this video, maybe check out some of the other series I've done. You can also consider subscribing, checking out my Patreon page, or joining my Discord server. There are links in the description to those, as well as other social media links like Twitter and Facebook. Thanks for watching.